This will be a tutorial on TDX. This will also be ranking some of the early game units and what you should buy in the game. Here's the Ranger. He is a pretty bad tower. He is your starting tower, so don't expect him to be any good. Bottom path gives you a little bit of splash damage and an ability that sets things on fire. Top path is stealth detection and higher DPS. So I'd recommend to go with top path. I think he's a pretty good C tier unit since he's your starting thing, so he's not too bad. The Operator is a unit that you want to get after the Ranger. This may take a few matches, but I recommend trying to find someone to play with or get a friend to play with if you have any friends. You probably don't. But after an intermediate or a few easy matches, you can get Operator, which is a huge upgrade over stupid Ranger. I give Operator a solid A tier. He's super good for early game and mid game. What unit next I like to talk about is the Barracks unit. One of the best units in the game for early game people. Quite literally the best unit for any starter. Now, you can place down a bunch of spawning buildings for them. You can spawn 5 of them, depending on how many people are in your game. Now, if you get 2 people that both have barracks, you can get a ton of troops and super overpowered, and it can even solo easy mode if you max them all out. So, with that, I have to give them an easy S tier. Easily the best early game, mid game thing for people that are just starting. Next, I'll be talking about John. Now, John is even used in some people that are really good at the game because of his John Rage ability. One of the best abilities in the game. Every single thing in its range will get a big power boost. So, everything's DPS is almost not doubled, but around that. So, that's top path, but bottom path is also very good with very high DPS and axe ability that does about a lot of damage, which is not as good as top path, but is a lot more affordable than top path. So I'd say John gets a nice spot in the S tier, simply because of John Rage ability. Next, I want to talk about Begineer, a very underrated unit in my opinion. His bottom path does big stun and pretty good damage. I really like him because of that, and I think he should get more attention for what he does, and I think he's very good. But despite all that glaze, I have to give him a sad B tier, because overall his splash isn't that great for an actual bomb. His stun is pretty mid, and his damage isn't even that high. So, with that being said, he gets a nice B tier. Next, I want to talk about Juggernaut. Juggernaut is the highest DPS dealing thing I'm going to talk about today, with its bottom path dealing over 700 DPS, and with EDJ can do over 1,000. And that's its bottom path. Its bottom path is pretty pricey to buy, but if you have EDJ to lower the price and buff its DPS, and it's very, very worth it. Now, its top path ignores bullet resistance, but has a lot less DPS, but is a lot more affordable. But it's still not great, so I personally go for bottom path on normal Juggernaut. But with that being said, easy S tier. He can be used up to level 70. And he's insanely good. Next unit I want to talk about is EDJ. One of, if not the best supporting unit in the game. Considering there's not that many supporting units, it's probably one of the best, if not the best. Bottom path is for discounting, which is very, very, very helpful. It just can't discount the last upgrade on any path, which sucks a lot, but it's still very good. and you go top path for extra fire rate and range. And you also got an ability to up the fire rate buff by 40%. So that's really good for extra DPS and very good support. I'm gonna have to give it A tier.